dear participants, it gives me a pleasure to introduce a course titled as Organizational Behaviour. I am basically excited to discuss or share my understanding about the subject, and it is imperative on me to tell you the importance which is given in today's context, the subject called organizational behavior in cognitive understanding in the management sciences. As the advances of management are taking place, organizational behavior is becoming progressively more controversial as a subject to be introduced in the courses of management. Nonetheless, what has actually happened over the years, the organizational behavior has, I won't say it has progressed, but it is trying to aim at some amount of cognitive constellation, thereby trying to explore the possibilities of organizational behavior understanding in the world, both in terms of organized and unorganized workplace. For me, I think we are in a prison called organization. This organizational prison is not because it does not happen only when we become an adult. It happens the time we are born. And that is where exactly the concept of organizational behavior starts rolling in us. After some time, none of us are really happy with organizations where we are probably located. But what actually makes us a little worried that at some point of time, at some moments of our life, we always think we are a prison in the organization. So, for example, today I am an Indian national, and I think then I am a part of the organization called India. But it's very interesting. The moment I think the world outside, I think I always get myself governed by some amount of constraint. And as a result, the child, when it is born in the family, it is a part, or he or she, is a part of the larger framework called family organization. But the family starts imposing a lot of values. So, for example, the faith which the family has is passed on to the child. Subsequently, he is sent to a school. The teachers start imprinting on him several sorts of constructs. Now, school as an organization do start shaping. At some point of time, we have seen the crisis of adolescence starts, and most of the time we find children are not willing to go to schools. Why? Because it's not that they don't like it. Most of the children, if I talk to them, they always tell me what they most like is their school. If I ask them for what, they like the school for getting friends. There is a number of friends, that is what they tell me. But when I ask, look at the basic objective of the schools or the academic institutions, it is essentially centering around a particular purpose. The purpose is to provide, impart, disseminate knowledge. Look at the child. She has no, or he has no awareness about the concern for that. But after some time, she or he feels very difficult to voluntarily go to schools. After I have seen, in case of a personal experience, I am very sure that it must be affecting, you must be having similar experiences when a child refuses to go to school. But it is again a construct in school. After that, we start growing up. We go to our professional life. Same thing happens. It's not that we don't like to go to our organizations, but somehow I feel that the moment I am in an organization, I am affected by several restrictions, constrictions. So this actually makes an organization, and that's why one of the noted organizational theory says, we are always in a prison called organization. But this is reality. Since reality bites, I think I have no hesitation to tell you, people are interested in knowing why, how the people behave in an organization in a particular way. And this is what is a constitute the major focus of this course called Organizational Behaviour. At the beginning of the course itself, I would like to give you a precautionary warning. It says, and that has been told by my teachers also, that if organizational behavior is a shorter form or OB, is a multifaceted theoretical construct. But most of the constructs actually gets you excited. But when you start applying it at the individual level or micro level, it becomes very difficult because we are distinctly different. Organization actually is a very complicated entity. That is why, because multiple organisms will constitute an entity called organization. Each one will be having its own objective. So, in the case of a macro organization or the organization and totality will have its own aim objectives. Since they don't coincide, it is often found that it becomes very difficult to really predict, understand, and really integrate behavior of the people in organization in a scientific way. In organizational behavior is a study. The organizational behavior is a study where we try to integrate both the theoretical construct, it's applied in a micro and macro environment. And as a result, what is happening? Organizational behavior is a very complex matrix which provides innumerable number of contradictions, and we have to deal with it. As a result, what has happened? Organizational behavior has been the most popular, at the same time more controversial course. People criticize it. At the end of every session, and it should happen in today's session also, you will find that I start contradicting itself. Please believe me that when we start having a thesis, it is necessary to be followed by an antithesis. And if antithesis does not follow, then synthesis will never become. As Hegelian dialectics are applicable in our life, so it is equally applicable in case of understanding organizational behavior. With this hope, we start going ahead in terms of the organizational behavior understanding, and hope it will give you some amount of understanding, but never envisage to give a solution of it. As a result, it is becoming very important for all of us to understand the complexity of organizational behavior as it exists. I would like to again emphasize here, organizational behavior is an eclectic, practical, applicable in understanding organizational behavior. But it is so optimistic. An organizational behaviorist will never be pessimist. If he does not find the answer of particular incidents of organizational behavior understanding, he or she will try to again look for alternatives. So it's an organizational behavior is an understanding of possibilities of behavior in organizational context. And people will behave. And therefore, there is no right or wrong. There is nothing which is absolutely certain. There is nothing which is deterministic in nature. And it is very, very dynamic. And therefore, organizational behavior is a dynamic constellation which probably guides all of us. So is the business reality. And we talk in this process, I think, the corporate entity or business or commercial entity which forms organization. What is obvious purpose? And the purpose is as decided by their goals, missions, statements. And therefore, each organization has to be seen or perceived to be like that in the years to come. Today's session, we are trying to understand, appreciate, and if required, we will try to look for an alternative perspective in terms of organizational behavior. I would like to state what will be the outline for today's from the course of organizational behavior. It is essentially, we try to understand organization and its behavioral complex in the setting of individuals. And then, say for example, you can't ignore individuals. At the same time, one cannot ignore the organization also. Because when an individual exists in an organization, apparently it looks that he is losing his individual identity, but it is not. So how the collectivity in organization comes in, and therefore its introduction of organizational behavior is an appreciation. Let me spell out the basic emphasis of organizational study is that you have to perceive organization as a positive entity. Because it's dynamic and it is essentially expected to provide some amount of contradiction which is implicit because multiple people will come with multiple micro-organizational behavior constraints. To make them the same, say for example, when you are born on this earth, I think our genetic programming was something which was absolutely being tutored, imprinted when I was living in the organization. So organizational behavior is an attempt to understand how we can. It is never an individual analysis, it's essentially an organizational analysis. The moment you want to go for individual analysis, you will see that it becomes very difficult to come to certain conclusions. Even our physiological parameters always operate on a particular scale, and therefore, say body temperature, if you think about it, I think it will vary individual to individual. But there is a maximum limit, there is a minimum limit. Therefore, you can't get consistency, and therefore, that is better. Most of the time, those who are concerned with behavior or concerned with the values of the organism is just confronted with it. I really empathize with these medical professionals, but how they are going to try to understand people, because people, when it comes about a group general, I think it can be understood. But the moment people comes and tells about something, and I think it's very difficult to develop a causal relationship. And this causal lack of causality often makes organizational behavior is very difficult to understand. A note of caution from my side that as a student we all need to understand is a qualitative pursuit. It's not a quantitative pursuit. Efforts have been made by the contributory scientists, which we will discuss in after this, to make a qualitative analysis and make it as a quantitative process. That is where exactly it is coming. So, organizational behavior is a study of averages. It's not study of individuals. It's essentially a descriptive, statistical analysis, but not an individual micro-level analysis. Although we often try to do that, and often meet with some amount of frustration, because what I understand, and it does not reflect in the individual outcome. So one of the most enigma which we are going to cover in this course is the personality. It's very, very important. I don't know how to describe the personality. After a series of research, the so-called psychologists, they try to hover around the concept of personality. And they could not. Personality means persona, a face, which we all put here. Here comes the contradiction in organizational behavior. When we look at an individual, the way he looks often does not represent what he believes. And why it is? Because we always seek approval. Because if I think the way I think, and if I tell that one, I think it becomes very difficult for others to tolerate. Therefore, we always have to, I think individual, I think this may not be true of the animal world, I am not very sure of it. It is true about the human world. See, human beings have an uncanny habit of pretending. When I don't like, I can pretend that I am liking. And this makes the understanding. I won't say it's a problem. I would like to tell you, if you live in an organization, everybody has to. Say for example, I am a keen observer of the animal world. I have seen they have a very interesting way of behaving in terms of the territorial influence. I think they also assess. I tell you, this assessment gives them the implicit understanding. I was one of the most renowned forest, I think, and then it was essentially conducted to by a group of people, those who conduct in South Africa. I saw and I was keen in understanding the behavior of the animals. I found that there is an uncanny, see, animal world also forms an organization. We have animals called lion, which is considered to be the king of the jungle or the forest. Their behavior is operationalized that, and I think it is no less, I don't know. I am just trying to give an analogy to that. I've seen this animal world is absolutely complying with the rules of organizations. I saw one tiger confronting with a very big another animal, elephant, face to face. It was very difficult for the animal world to understand and believe that the animal does not have any rules or rituals. It is very interesting. And in terms of the interesting analysis, we found that it was, I asked a guide, and the guide was telling me, now look at it, who will be trapped? Because face to face is a confrontation. It's a bigger explanation. In the rule of the jungle, forest, it is said that an animal will never be trapped, which is called king. And king is nothing but hierarchy. Similar thing is applicable in the organizational hierarchical process. So it was about 20 minutes. Both of them were standing face to face. After some time, I saw the elephant turned back, and the situation was totally diffused and he went down. Now look at it. There is a rule which prevails in our organization. What I say, the personality actually makes you. I was looking at the land and I was finding that really it should be called, and then we human call it, actually I don't know whether they are aware of it, but we call them the king of the land is the king. So I have seen, this is not true for other animals. I think basically other animals, there is a stratification. Say, I don't expect this thing from a panther, I don't expect this thing from a tiger, but I can expect this thing from a lion. Here comes the personality. It takes us a case. Everyone, all of us, are expected to put up a face. Imagine when you call somebody as the CEO of an organization, he's like lion. He has to put a face, even he is disturbed, he can't express it. Let me tell you, personality theory has given us a lot of understanding. We will have an occasion to discuss at subsequent sessions also. When I talk about personality, essentially personality gives you a tremendous understanding about the process by which the people are expected to behave. In the corporate world, we have seen CEOs, they are basically neighbor, because the personality has to be so that if you are too much seeking approval, you can't become organizational inclusive now. We will discuss this in terms of the leadership. You see, leader can have only followers. Top leader will be a lawyer. This is what exactly we talk, and then he has to have appropriate personality. So you will understand what I am trying to say. In organizational behavior, we often believe that everything what we do is essentially acquired or learned. And if we are not capable of doing that, it becomes very difficult. Personality is such a concept which takes us in understanding organizational behavior, because people's behavior can be understood by the basic construct through which they build. And essentially, organizational behavior is also study of the ability of the people in terms of experiencing these large populations. We come to the next part, and which is another important part of organizational behavior, is the perception, attitude and values. If you look at it, organizational people are made of a bundle of stimulus and response. But it is true maybe for inanimate objects, but when it's an animate objects, it's a living organism. It is not that what you see and you perceive. It is what you are expected to see or you want to see in person. It creates a lot of gap. I hope that you can understand the difference between perceptual gap which exists in the reality. If I don't want to see something, say for example today, human beings cannot tolerate the meaningless experience. This is true for any organism. Suppose you go to a very aboriginal tribe and you meet them and they see an aircraft which has crash landed there. For them, they have never heard about the aircraft. But you don't think that they will be away from attributing something which is close to their understanding. They may consider it as a big bird or a bird, another animal which can capable of flying. I don't know. But the question is that the meaning actually is attributed in the organization. Every organization in the name of inductions actually attributes meaning to the people who are members of the organization. I would like to also concentrate in terms of making you understand there is a concept called eye of the beholder. And it is the eye who perceives of the beholder, not the objective entity. That becomes organizational behavior more difficult. Because there is a lot of supporting things. We always talk about frames. The frames is a very interesting concept. If you think about a frame, I think I will interpret it in that frame. Suppose you are if you are surrounded by some amount of tinged glasses, everything which will appear to you will be tinged. Similarly, frames of reference. I think if you ask a professor of mathematics in a university, by showing him a scale, he will have a different way of looking at a measuring scale as compared to a children. Because children usually looks at a scale as a stick through which the teacher will be disciplining you. And therefore, the object will be the same, but interpretation will be varied. It results into an attitude. Attitude is a quick way of disposing things. Organizational behavior is also affected by values. Values it has a tremendous impact. If you look at it, what organization stands for? Every organization tries to create a value. We have a very interesting concept in organizational behavior or organizational citizenship. Every time, say for example, a country is an organization. What it does? The moment you become a citizen of a country, you have a constitution. The constitution gives you the guiding principles, which creates values. If you are born in a democratic country, the values which you adopt is totally different than if you are born in an autocratic country. Now, obviously, there is nothing good or bad in it. I won't say, and we never interpret organizational behavior in terms of good days or bad days. But values are essentially which is imbibed on you. It's not that it cannot be changed, but it's very difficult to change. And this difficulty is often encountered in understanding behavior in the organization. So today, always there we find a value conflict. In organizational behavior, you conceptualize X generation, Y generation, Z generation, new Z generations. So what is happening? These are all value-based things. Well, where from the value comes? It comes out of the induction of technology, induction of education, induction of understanding. So for example, today, because of the IT revolution, the world is becoming global. As a result, the boundaries are collapsing. As a result, the conventional definition of nation is undergoing a significant change. I don't know. There are corporates which are coming up, which are linking nations. So today, immediately comes to my mind G. G is a company which links nations across the world. And look at it. It's an interesting way of globalizing. We heard about this term, but it do change the value system. So for example, standing in the queues of immigration in any of the airports in the world, you will find so many national peoples integrating. But it's very interesting to understand at some point of time, it does not make sense. It's very important for us to appreciate this concept because when you board the aircraft, say 300 or 400 people traveling together, they form an organization. And I have seen at some point of time for 14 hours, 10 hours, when we do flying, I think you form another group of organization. You know how to behave appropriately. Now, this is what exactly makes the organization behavior more interesting. We have a very mega concept in organizational behavior called motivation. Because one of the problems in organizational behavior is how to motivate. And if I can understand, if I can appreciate, I think 50% or 100% job is done. Because motivation is the spring of behavior. And if I can motivate a person, automatically I can make him do or undo things which I want him, which I like. It's essentially a control principle. Every organizational behaviorist are in search for that plasma or motivation. And if I can have this plasma with me, I can do it's a magic. I will make people do because organization wants to achieve its goal. But its members often are not aligned with it. And often we find that it's a problem of motivation. It's usually of this kind. It's nothing difficult to understand the concept of motivation, but when you apply it, it becomes very difficult. I may do something for some particular purpose, goals, needs. These are all driving forces which makes a person motivated or demotivated. There is nothing like demotivation also in organization. We often just attribute that the people are not motivated. It can't happen. People are perennially motivated. Till the time we are born, until the time we meet our eventuality, we are so highly motivated because we have been genetically programmed to be motivated. Therefore, if you find somebody who is not motivated, I would like to describe that behavior. He is very difficult. He is also motivated not to do things. So, for example, if you find that workers are less productive in organizations, don't think because not to work in a workplace requires a lot of efforts rather than working because there must be some reason why it is happening. Organizational behavior, in other words, is a construct in which you never accuse the person. It's not a fault-finding approach. It's a fact-finding approach. Trying to understand why it is happening, not that what has actually happened. So it's an eclectical, as I have said again. Earlier, also I am repeating that term. That is, it's a natural way of analyzing the potentials of the individual. What the problem comes in organization. When you think about groups, group behavior, group dynamics, I tell you, it's very interesting. Think about a group consisting of multinational entities. What will happen? When I am in Western Europe, say I am in Europe, I often feel more closer with my Asian colleagues. It's very interesting. When I am in Asia, I always feel East Asia is totally different than South Asia. If I talk about Southeast Asia, it is another group. So we look at it, groups are formed and reformed. So when I am with, say, with Asia, I think African forms another group. But when we are together in a multinational groups, Asians, because of their typical phenomenal characteristics, often better understands the Africans, and therefore African nationals. It's very interesting for us to understand this group behavior and the group dynamics. I must tell you here that group behavior has been better analyzed by physicists. There is one of the noted physicists of the world actually developed the concept for the physical understanding of the dynamics between the objects, and they try to analogically implement it in understanding behavior of the people. That is what is the group dynamics theory. Dr. Professor Carl Lewin he has a very simulated approach in understanding group dynamics process. And organizational behavior is trying to apply that concept in terms of better understanding, which we will be discussing when we discuss the group behavior in future sessions. Another important concept which is very, very different from the earlier concept which we have talked so far is organizational design. Organizational design, structure, size, technology are very complicated issues because organizations are made for people of the organization. So in order to live together, in order to serve the purpose of the organization, you have to design the organization. Just like that, we have an architect who designs our home. Now this home is a very big concept because it is made for the inhabitants who are going to live there. I don't think there can be universal application of the design of home, depending on the city where or depending on the location. You can't think of a big home in Hong Kong or India, Bombay or Tokyo because they have a constriction of space. You think about a home in Detroit, which ought to be because US, one of the characteristics of the United States is that everything is big because you have space around you. But you can't have, people, those who live in Tokyo, those who live in Hong Kong, or for that matter, any congested city. It's a totally different. But I tell you, the home is designed in such a way, I think, which has an implicit meaning. Why? Because the behavior of the people will be conducted by that. So is the case in the organization. How you design, how you structure. It is based on organizational theories. And these theories we will be discussing in separate contexts. Because unless we design properly, there will be conflict. The conflict will be creating stress. So for example, today you can't expect many people. I know cases where German expats were expected to go to US after the acquisition of the company. It is a very classic case. We will be referring it subsequently. And another group of Americans who were expected to go to Germany to work their acquired land. Both of them were fighting because Germans are not used to a large space. Americans are not used to a constricted space. As a result, there is a conflict. You look at the design of the car. Now, I understand the difference because if I have a big car in Europe, it's a problem because most of the European people will be preferring for a small car, although things are changing very fast. But you can't have a small car in US because you need a big car. So design also creates a problem because you need to have a road, infrastructure to collaborate with that. So organizations, design, structure is governed by several constraints, and that is what we are talking about. Then comes another mega concept which we will be discussing. It's called leadership. Leadership is a phenomenal concept. I don't know in today's context whether leadership can be really defined. I don't know. Leaders are expected, as per the organizational behavior is concerned, that to make people do what they don't want to do. And this is what we mean by leadership. So, for example, I don't know whether it's a leadership, but people, after some times, if he is a true leader, will like to do what the idea used to do. So, it's getting people appreciate, that means creating goal within the people, which otherwise people have a differential goal. And this is what exactly we think about organizational behavior. Leadership is a multifaceted concept, which we will be discussing. It is flowing out of different disciplines which constitute organizational behavior. Then we have a very significant concept in organizational behavior called organizational development. Ultimately, you have to do what your knowledge will never allow you to be self-sufficient unless you have intervention strategies to make things work. Our entire learning of organization has to be implemented and has to make it productive. Say, for example, when I go to a doctor, medical professionals are interventionists. There is a huge amount of research which is carried out by the scientists. So, that research, unless it is intervened on the people, those who are suffering from that malady, it is of no use. I tell you, look at it, the way the intervention practitioners, they do. Organizational behavior also has to have a lot of significant amount of interventionists, and they are called OD practitioners. OD is a separate discipline which has rolled out from organizational behavior. Eventually, make the organizational behavior theories into applications. It is theories which are in macro applications. That means organizational behavior is a field of construct. When you have analysis is based either on micro or macro behavioral perspective or applied and theoretical perspective. When I have theoretical and applied aspect, it is human resource management. When I have theoretical macro approach, then it becomes something different. And organizational development is theory, organizational theory, which provides linkage to organizational practice. And it is therefore a theory-based macro approach leading for action plan for the practitioners, and therefore they are the intervention specialists. I think with this, these are the tentative topics which we can talk about. So if you look at it, a review of organization is basically a multidisciplinary concept. The contributory disciplines of organizational behavior is multiple. We have several concepts which we need to understand in terms of the organizational behavior understanding. Now, these contributory disciplines of OB comes out of several subjects. Obviously, initial effort was made by a lot of behavioral sciences like sociology, psychology, anthropology, which contributed and started understanding the behavior in perspective. But subsequently, a lot of technical subjects started entering. So, for example, today, if I think about production, I think essentially it's a product understanding of organizational behavior in the situations of productivity improvement. And therefore, all are implicitly industrial engineering, all are contributed in terms of managing the organizational behavior. And these are a basket of disciplines which have probably worked around last century to make organizational behavior what it is today. Because $10 cognitive sciences could not provide understanding of such a complicated interaction between behavior of people and organization. So far the organization is concerned, behavior is concerned, there are certain absolutes which are considered to be eternal truth. One is complex nature, human nature, for dealing with the physical, as compared to the dealing with the physical sciences. We are, one way we are fortunate in organizational behavior theory as compared to the physical sciences, because in physical sciences there is absolute entity, there is no change. The organizational behavior deals with human beings, which keeps on changing because of the behavioral components, which is based on certain lots of things. So we have certain challenges of organizational behavior. We have challenges before organizational behavior is very difficult. So today, there is a shift in the organizational behavior thinking. And these 7 challenges we are going to discuss in subsequent sessions. And these 7 challenges are very conventional. And we have to make it understand that organizational behavior has to face these challenges. Then we have OB models. OB models are distinctly different than any other application of organizational behavior, because all the disciplines have developed cognitive constructs, out of which you try to apply the organizational behavior. You get 4 basic models, which we will be discussing in subsequent sessions also. Like, which can be attributed as a 4 way of managing people, which can be attributed as a 4 different way of leadership and theories. So, for example, you can manage people by autocratic mode, and that's a model, autocratic model. What exactly it means? I will monitor you and you will be working. Now, the problem with this model is very simplistic in assumption. That means I will put force on you and you will respond to that. But that becomes after some time counterproductive. It is very difficult to become autocratic, because if you don't work, if you recall initial stages of industrial revolution, people were monitored. Every stage is being measured. After some time, it was becoming non-functional. Then comes another model, which is called custodial model. Because the autocratic model is based on an assumption that the people should be punished if they don't do So the question is, how much punishment you can give? At some point of time, punishment becomes disproportionate. You can kill a person for not doing the work. And therefore, they started thinking why. There are a lot of applications of behavioral sciences, production engineering people, those who are responsible for managing behavior of the people in the organization, they came into the form. They thought that there could be another way of managing people, is to, instead of punishing, give them some reward. It's very interesting. I think over the years, reward has converted into incentive. This incentive is, I don't know how it is. So for example, in organizational behavior, if you are incentive driven, at some point of time, incentive will lose its charm. So today, please understand one thing, that people are human beings, are especially very complex. If you give them incentive at a regular interval, incentive will not be incentive anymore. So you have to decide incentive. Organizational behavior is an attempt by doing this. So they started replacing the autocratic model by a model called custodial model, where I will take care of you, you take care of my objective. It's very nice to hear about. Initially, it gives you some amount of purpose. But after some time, people forget, because people take it for granted. Because I feel, if any employee feels happy after getting his salary, I think he is not. But if he does not get it, then he will be unhappy. It's like this. Having money does not give you happiness, because you always think, I should get more money. But the moment you don't have money, I think that time having money is very important. So what exactly? Because we have a very difficult in understanding the cognitive framework for which people work. And this is what exactly made. After some time, what has actually happened? People get their salary, but they don't work. For working, you have to give them incentive. And it has come to many cases where your basic compensation exceeded, was much lower than your incentive payment. Because only on incentive you work. That means you come to office or organization for working, and you only, that is, for that you have to pay your basic salary, and for every work you have to have an incentive. And this becomes a very complicated issue to deliver in the organizational behavior context. Then comes the another model of organizational behavior, which is essentially a very, very supportive. That means I will care for you, I will try to understand you, and then you will be doing the work. It's very interesting. I think evolutionary stage it has happened. It was very interesting to understand the implication of this, because we will say that we will give you totally support in terms of making the organization to grow, and you will be producing it. But what is happening? At some point of time, supporting models assumes maturity. One of the problems which we face in the organization, because organization is a structured area. We move into structure when it is in a hierarchical format. The people down the line always feel that way. So supporting models started doing away with the structure, and they say that it will be group work which will be. But what is the problem with group work was, and will be, that some people will be a loafer in the group. They will not be doing because, but taking the credibility of the group. Therefore, it's a very complicated thing, how to manage them. It was a big issue. Now we are following a model in which we make people not as a worker or an employee, we make them as the manager who will manage their work. What is happening? That has created a tremendous amount of upheaval in organizational behavior thinking, where people will be empowered. Nobody to monitor. He is accountable to himself for doing the work. But that calls for a tremendous amount of social changes. And in many of the cases, even if you think about the Marxian way of looking at the organizations, we could not. Karl Marx actually eventually said that probably capitalists are more Marxist than Marx ever thought of it. Because what is happening today with the state sovereignty questions? Say for example, when sovereign default happens, I think capitalist society are bailing out the organizations. Then what is happening? Can you think about it? As a student, we have been taught about mixed economy, controlled economy. But today is another format where capitalists are becoming more in terms of state interventions than anybody else, which they used to feel, they used to think about a total liberated environment in terms of managing the organization. So 4 different concepts which is primarily constitute the field of analysis of organizational behavior. We have many approaches of organizational behavior. Organizational behavior is based on first approach is essentially very simplistic in nature. It's basically behavior analysis. Where I believe that human being is basically an animal. And I think I will manage the individual in the organizational setting by providing him reward. If the reward does not work, I will punish. But the question is that it's not so simple. Because if I look at the Pavlovian model of conditioning, individuals are conditioned by the organization. But after some time, they become totally defined. So for example, in today's world, if you take to define, I think probably if you look at it, I don't expect in terms of my little understanding about your international organizations, there will be another war. Because everybody knows the implication of the war. So what is happening today? But people ask today. So for example, I was just going through an analysis 2 days back. Most of the poor countries in the world are spending more on acquiring their people. Say, top among the list is India, followed by China, first is top is India, then followed by Pakistan, then China. So what is happening here? These are all relatively poor countries spending on that. So what is happening? It is basically another view of looking at the things. How long it can continue? I think probably organizations, international organizations to understand that state is what? Essentially, I have been one of the organizational behavior analysts have said that there can't be any politics without power. So in international politics also, as it happens in the organizational behavior understanding, you have to be powerful in terms of management. So it is better that you empower the people everywhere, bottom of the pyramid, so that the people at the top does not have the responsibility. As that is responsible, the implications are very difficult for anyone to understand, but we will analyze this one. We have several variables in organization. As we are talking about, there is a set of variables which is called independent variables, which determines the behavioral outcome in interface between individual and organizations. There are several variables which are dependent variables. Which one is dependent and which one is independent is very difficult. So for example, let me give you an example. Say, are you happy when you are productive? Or you are productive only when you are happy? It's a tautological question. Whether happiness gives you higher productivity or productivity gives you higher happiness. Essentially, it's a very mixed feeling because I have, from the researchers of the organizational behavior theories which have been seen, that the people, those who are happy, need not be productive. And the people, those who are productive, need not be happy. Say for example, today, if I look at it, Japanese productivity is considered to be the offshoot of manufacturing technology. But people have, by and large, their satisfaction level is not so high. Because if you go by the rate of incidence of committing suicide, which is probably an ultimate analysis of the failure of the behavior of the person. Killing self, killing others I can understand, but killing self is very difficult. So this is possible only when you are terribly frustrated. Now look at it. If I say Japan is unique, and you are all appreciative about their manufacturing technology, the type of quality which you used to get and which you still continue to get there, and the type of exemplary demonstration of the group behavior which have been shown by them. But if it is so, then why their happiness index is so low as compared to people? So for example, we have countries like India where happiness index is very high, productivity is very low. I don't know. Therefore, I think there is a balance which needs to be about. These variables are very complicated understanding. to define organizational behavior. Therefore, I would like to say it is an interplay between variables of organizational behavior. It's a very complicated relationship. It's not a very singular relationship, which is independent and which is dependent, which is determining variables, which is the outcome variables. And very difficult for an organizational behavior theorist to identify. But we try to explore, and that is what is the field of organizational behavior. As we have said, what is a dependent set of values? Dependent set of values, which is the result of particular behavioral outcome, productivity, absenteeism. I don't know if I today ask any of you to say whether productivity is a dependent variable or independent variable. There are organizational behavior research which proves that productivity is independent variable, which results in outcome values or dependent values. Say absenteeism, people don't come to class. If you are happy with my class, I think next session you will do. Is it true or it is the other way? Say people, whether it's an independent variable, but there are some people, those who are absent because they have other priorities to meet. It depends again, the social network. If you look at it, I have seen in many developing countries, I have experience, I have a fortune of working with many of the developing countries in the world. I have seen, although they are poor, but they have a very, very deterministic idea about the values which they have. If you pay them, don't think. You must be knowing, in South China Sea area, there is a major festivals of the year is the Tet, which is a New Year, Chinese New Year. People go on leave, and it's a problem because there are huge amount of multinational corporations which have set up their FDI through foreign direct investment. Lots of export processing zones there, where they recruit the local workers and they give them enough as compared to the wages available or the benchmark wages available in that country. To our surprise, most of the people, those who go for a long Tet holidays, a New Year holiday, they never come back after the Tet. As a result, the production schedules suffer. Although they make an anticipated gap and they overproduce to take care of the Tet holiday, they don't have. In those parts of the world, they hardly have any holidays. And they are in the export processing zone. They come from different places in the interior locations. They stay there. They work very efficiently. But after the Tet, they don't want to come back. And why they don't want to come back? Because it happens with any people, my grandmother. Essentially, understand the implication of it. Whatever money you will have seen that the people have decided of incentive to come back on the date of Tet. When vacation gets over, you will be paid. If you are late by 1 day, I think, and if you are coming on time, you get 100% wage increment, wage as a compensation for your good or expected behavior. Majority people don't know. Therefore, absenteeism is a socially determined phenomenon also. It depends on the type of priorities. I don't know what to do with that. I have told them that you have to tolerate this because this is a cultural norm of that particular target. Is it a dependent or independent? I leave an organization because I want to get rid of them. Whether I am very happy or whether I am extremely unhappy. People, there are many people who want to think of a change of organization. I want to go elsewhere, not because they are not happy with the organization, but they think enough is enough. I have learned enough. See, one of the expectations of the employees in the organization is to get more experience, more exposure, more learning opportunities. But if you look at it, here it is totally different. And therefore, turnover is whether dependent or independent. That's why we always call all the variables as mixed variables. Now, deviant behavior at workplace. Essentially, if you look at it, many people they do make workplaces a fun. They come there, they make lots of deviant behavior, which is not accepted by the organization. Because organization is the norm, has a norm. Say, for example, you cannot come without uniform in the workplace. So many places, people clean about it. Why he is not coming? It's a question. Essentially, what is happening? When you don't comply with the behavioral standard, actually, you tend to revolt. And this revolution comes out of your feeling of getting total disgust. And again, organizational synergy behavior which we are discussing. Basically, organizational behavior. Organizational behavior is where that producing behavior as a nation as a citizen. I tell you, say for example, today if you look at the major global city organizations, they create world citizens because their workplace, they are transferred all over the world. They work in different places. All over the places they have their home because their company is operating there. But please understand that it is very difficult to create synergy. It is very difficult as the country often feels it difficult. Why we celebrate our national days? To create a behavior, to make ourselves aware that we are one as a nation. So is the case in the organization. So if you are located in a multinational setup, you have to understand and make the people feel that they are above the nationality. And I don't know which one is more affiliated, but organization has to create strategies for development. Job satisfaction is a very important aspect of organizational behavior because organizational behavior tries to analyze how to make people effectively happy. I understand. Yeah, effectively happy means cognitively we all know we should be happy. The question is that when we express this in terms of the modes of your behavior, it's called affective. Whether I really feel happy or not, that's a very important concept to be evaluated in organizational behavior. So, OB variables, as we said, independent variables of the organizational behaviors are individual level variables like age, gender, which has no control. So, for education, faith, language, we have seen that there is a huge components. Suppose you take a group, the organization should be as diverse as possible. That is what is the individual level analysis. You can't have only young people. I have seen many organizations are telling that our average age profile is below 30 years. It's not good for the organization. Again, we have seen many organizations are telling our average age profile is above 50 years. Both are extremely dangerous because you have to see, and evolve a strategy where you have a balanced growth in terms of all the personal characteristics, whether it's age, gender. You can't have all women organizations. Recently, I visited a workplace where 100% women were being employed as a policy of the organization. But they are now depending because you cannot have. It's better to have because the world is not created for one gender. It is male. Again, 100% male is also not desirable. Organizational behavior, basically they are independent variables. If you get a dividend out of it, I tell you, all the independent variable dividends are finally accrued. We have very successful organization in the world, which comes out of a very small entity and become totally global. Let us refer the case of Procter & Gamble. In terms of the organizational behavior understanding, I consider it an ultimate of organizational behavior success. Because they have created an organization which is really local at the same time they are really global. You see, look at PhD employees. They are so committed to the organizations, or as compared to many other so-called brands which we are utilizing. It is touching everyone. Because if you look at it, PhD culture is very dominant because of the diversity it creates. GE culture is very dominant because it is diversity that creates. It has no nationality boundaries. Because their objectives are totally different. And that is why it makes a great organization. IBM is an organization by itself which is very multifaceted. Because it is probably designed, I don't know. But so far our understanding goes, one has to think very clearly. At this level analysis, group level behavior, dynamics, interaction process, how you make, say for example today when you take your people in the entry level people in the organization, you have to see to it that all over the world you get a consistency. Say Toyota car, if I have to use, it should be same whether I am in Japan or India or in Africa or in US or UK. Idea is that we skip say homogeneity in terms of industry. All the clients, so for example, you look at the ambience which is created by most of the large organizations. Whether they like it or not, it is given. So for example, the moment you talk to me about the cancer, I get a feeling that it's all yellow. That is what exactly makes an organization, all the people, I think, but there will be failure, success. If Khalsa may not be, they look Khalsa what it was. But again, the vitalization could be possible by understanding and appreciating the good level values. Organizational level values are norms, values, vision, and you have continuously analyzed it for the contingency basis that to make or develop an organizational entity. Foundation of organizational behavior is based on ability of the individual. Please understand. People, one of the objectives of the organizational behavior, people have an ability which has to be understood and appreciated. So, because if I look at it, basic concept of the cognitive concepts have been developed over the several behavioral scientists. They could observe that ability is a very generic term, but it has very sub-factors. We have generic ability, we have a special ability. The question is that basically all people can't be musicians, but there is a musical ability which is there in people, which can be further cultivated. The ability of the individual has to be assessed, and organizational behavior is a pursuit for assessing what you are good at. We never have a fault-finding approach, as I earlier also said. Organizational behavior is very positive, very pragmatic. It tries to understand what you are good at and put you in that. And therefore, organizational behavior is giving a cognitive understanding of deployment of people and utilizing the people resources. If I am not good in painting, no point in making me a painter. If I am not good in facilitating, there is no point in making me a teacher. Because teacher is one, according to my understanding, is one who can facilitate the introspection of the participants which are attending his or her classes. So intellectual ability is again another concept. It's basically your cognitive competency. Intellectual ability could be varied in terms. It could be general mental ability, GMA, or numerical ability, verbal ability. You must have seen people across those who are very good in mathematics, very poor in remembering names of the people. So, essentially, this is where exactly. Some people are very good in expression. But some people, those who know, may not be very good in terms of articulations. So, this is again ability, perceptual ability. Who can understand? Say, for example, when I am going to recruit an aviation an aircraft pilot, what I require? I require his key perceptual ability of understanding topography. So that from the long distance, when you see nothing, he can see an airport. Say, imagine, I have seen people and they are very good in terms of perceptual appreciation. Now, some people are reasoning ability, can think, and their logical thinking is superb. Some people may not be, because they don't find, not that they don't have, all of us are having all potentiality. Some people are better in appreciating somebody. Then inferential ability, some people can. Say, for example, today inferential ability is required for forecasting. The organizational behavior also understands and appreciates people vary in terms of their ability, be it perceptual ability, be it inferential ability, be it spatial ability. So, physical ability, that's also another important aspect of organization. We will consist of, after all, we are organism. What is the physical attributes which you do have? Say, for example, today, strength of the person. It's very interesting for anyone to understand. Strength cannot be understood by looking at the person. I tell you, physically, there are lots of physical tests are available where I can precisely calculate the physical stamina of a person. You see, when you look very big or robust, let's say, basically you may not be so. How? Because physiologists have worked together with organizational behavior specialists to understand the physical fitness. But one thing we have to understand, if organization job does not demand that much of physical ability, you did not have all Olympians included in your team in the organization. Because Olympian success, all Olympians will be physically fit. I'm talking about the physical based Olympian activity, these activities. It is totally different. Say for a good athlete, may not be very good in terms of assembly line worker. But this is what one has to understand, and then we have like balancing in terms of the psychomotor ability, or balancing the stimulus in terms of the understanding, because we have a limited ability in terms of, so for the physiological or physical abilities are concerned. If you look at, then we come to another important aspect of organizational behavior is learning. So where exactly the learning comes? What is learning is very important for any organizational behavior student to analyze. You can just write an assignment, how you define it, learning as a parameter. Learning is very simple. Anybody who is any organism, I think we are aware of this on this earth, are capable of learning. Inanimate object can't learn. You may have, today you have introduced or invented fuzzy logic, but artificial intelligence, but they are too fuzzy and too artificial to even discuss in a class of organizational behavior. They cannot have. Human intelligence have not yet been replicated. Hopefully it will be done. You see, there is a limitation of programming is possible, but today we are advancing. One day we may be able to replicate human intelligence, and we are still hopeful about it. But any human being, any organism are capable of learning because they have a cognitive components of life. What is this? Because he can learn by experience. And what is learning? Learning is modifying your response through that experience. You just see a small child touches fire. He or she gets pain. Next time she starts or he starts crying by looking at the fire. He did not experience the pain which first time she has understood. There are cases in which mother says, oh, that's a fire, it will burn you. After some time the child learns it. So we have also another capacity of learning from experiences of others, not only my own experiences. Whatever I have learned, I have not learned from my experience. Many things have been imprinted on me. My teachers have given me, my colleagues have given me, my friends have given me. And therefore it comes a process of learning. Learning is modification of behavior, by which you can do things which you want to do without ever sacrificing the basic ingredients of this world. We have several types of learning. Classical learning, which is essentially, learning is also conditioning. But I say modification. After you see your boss, immediately you say good morning. Why? Because you know that's a conditioning. Because if you don't say, although there is nothing good in the morning, but you say good morning. Why? Because you are conditioned to say so. The moment your lunch break is there, you feel hungry. Why? Till that time you never thought of lunch. But the moment you have a lunch break, you feel hungry because you are conditioned physiologically for that. The moment you go to a coffee shop, immediately you get an urge for coffee because you learned coffee, good coffee is served here. So if I go to a Starbucks outlet, what I know, the Starbucks outlet gives me most aromatic drink I ever have on earth. I think again it's a learning of mine. I don't get satisfied by any other coffee which is given to me, or I think maybe better coffee, but I go to Starbucks because I have learned, I have been conditioned. The moment I start, and they are also very interesting. Starbucks as an organization starts giving you this smell, aroma, centering around that shop. And I wish everybody could do that. Classical conditioning possible. After some time, classical conditioning can be substituted. We can go for a higher level of learning. It's called operant conditioning, where I substitute stimulus. I have an urge for drink, but world companies, beverage makers like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, has operate myself. Now I don't feel thirsty. I feel like having a Coke or a Pepsi. It's called operant conditioning. Essentially, it's a way in which you can operationalize your conditioning. Say for example, today you know, you can see your boss and start behaving appropriately because you have been operationalized it, because through your past experience you have seen that is what he likes, and therefore you start behaving. So parents are also operant conditioning children. They reward the behavior which they want to be committed, and therefore this child will start operate. After sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, she will start doing the thing. Then social learning. We also behave. We live in society. And as I said, we experience ourselves. By looking at a person, I know whether I should be friendly with him or not. Stranger. This is social learning. Children are very scared of stranger. Why? Because they have been told, they have experienced that strangers could be dangerous. Say for example, if you think of a wild animal, I don't know whether animals are really going to attack you or not. It may not. But the question is that why animal attacks? It's again a conditioning. It's a social learning. Animals feel threatened and therefore they attack. Actually, nobody attacks others except human being probably. I think without any reason. We also attack thinking that the person could be a threat to me. So attack is the best defense. It's been considered in animal world. But whatever we do, social learning do take place. We always behave in a socially appropriate behavior. Organizational behavior is basically a behavior in the organizational form, which is essentially a offshoot of social learning. We always try to behave the way we are expected to behave. And then we talk about schedule of reinforcement, which I said is a complicated issue. Whether I should reinforce every behavior, every time child does a good work, or employee does a good work, I should give him a reward. If you are giving every time a reward, then it will not be because it's a programming. So you have to be very judicious. Therefore, we give the variable interval incentives, schedules, fixed ratio schedules, or variable ratio schedules. What is the design which you have? It depends on the situation. So, for example, every time you go to a coffee shop and they give you a coupon, then it's not incentive for you. But all of a sudden, once you go and you say that you have won a discount, today you are free. What is happening? You feel like going to that place again, and you are in a trap. So, for example, all entire reinforcement schedule of any operation if you see is based on real understanding of the people behavior, and that is how probably it can be activated. We talked about attitude and satisfaction in the earlier as a course in group for the preliminary session. The attitude is a component of attitudes are cognitive evaluation. What is cognitive evaluation? When you start looking at the thing, immediately you start thinking whether it's good or bad, beautiful or ugly. These are all cognitive evaluation. You start evaluating it. Useful, useless. These are all evaluation. It's an attitude. Attitude is nothing but an evaluation. I think about something, say democracy. My attitude to democracy depends on the evaluation which I make. Whether democracy is good. So for example, today you think about democracy. Democracy is very costly. Democracy is very time consuming. Still, people are pro-democracy. Why? Because democracy gives you freedom of speech. Democracy gives you transparency. Democracy is a thing which has to be wished and which has to be nurtured. The only question is that your attitude to democracy is dependent on how you evaluate it. If you think of a highest development, you will not do it. So for example, most of the democratic countries are often have a problem in terms of development because you can't decide. There are umpteen number of situations. I am being a part of a democratic process. I know how much painful it is. India would have been in different level if the democracy would not be. But I no way am suggesting that you scrap democracy because for everything you have to pay a price. Organizational behavior is an understanding of contingency. If you do this, what will happen? If you smoke, you are likely to be afflicted with carcinogens. It's up to you. It is your life. You are up to decision. Basically, we believe in freedom and freedom of the individual to behave the way they would like to behave. It is essentially components of attitude. Then moderating variables are job attitude, job satisfaction, job involvement. I tell you, say job satisfaction is an immediate feeling. Involvement is another feeling. When you start missing your job, even on holidays, you like to go back, and that's an involvement. Because your work is there. I have seen many cases where people are not expected to come, but they come to the workplace to do their unfinished job. That's an involvement. Organizational commitment. What is commitment? When I become involved in the organization, I start getting committed to the organization. Commitment can be of many types. One is very physical commitment which is basically continuing commitment. I come because I want to commit. There's an affective commitment. I come because I like to come. Then normative commitment. I come because I like to. I feel that I should do it because otherwise something. So for example, today if you look at the religious commitment, most of the people, they go on Sunday for service in the church. If you are a Catholic or a Protestant or a Christian. So it's a normative commitment. That means I should go, otherwise it's not good. But I think, look at it, there will be multiple people, those will say, why will go? Say for example, today decline of religion in Europe. It's a simple example. People don't feel anymore normatively pulled towards being religious. I don't know, several religions. I being a Hindu by faith, I believe that I don't have any normative commitment. My religions have never told me that you should go to temple once in a week. I tell you it's good. In the organizational behavior perspective, going to a church once in a week makes sense because you get integrated with the larger society where you live. Say, it depends, but if you believe in freedom, you don't allow anybody to do this one. Say for example, if I talk about other religions, they have very strict imperatives, they are norms, which is created. You have not gone to mosque for prayer, you have not gone to church for service, it's not good, it's a sin not to visit there. Now the question is that this is how the organizational beliefs are reflected on people. But I don't know whether that is what is required or not. So there are many religions who does not prescribe this type of. There are many religions which prescribes. It depends on what. Nothing good or bad in it. What do employees value most? It's very important for organizational behavior to understand. What I believe? Do I believe in more money? More money in immediate money or deferred money? Whether I believe in my future? If I believe in future, I believe in a more of a pensionary benefits rather than today's benefit. Say for example, today job security is redefined in organizational behavior concept. Job security is essentially ensuring perenniality of your earning. See, if you retire, then you don't have earning. It gives a tremendous feeling, but some people are used to it. They say, no, I will make my living in another alternative ways. But there are people, those who believe, no, it's better. Say for example, I don't know whether social security system should be there or should not be there. Social security system should not be blanket. But the question is that it should be need-based. Those who need, we'll give them. Those who don't need, we'll not give them. But organizations have to be very clear, very selective in terms of developing action plan. This is what I wanted to say on the preliminary sessions. Next sessions we'll be discussing about all the aspects of organizational behavior and make the organizational behavior as an interactive process. Thank you.